The date is November 23rd, 2004. For most of the world, a day like any other. But for the computer gaming community, it is a day that would change the face of online gaming for years to come. Just 3 years earlier, Blizzard Entertainment announced that they would be creating a fourth installment in their wildly popular and award-winning franchise, Warcraft. Known for its epic storyline and absorbing gameplay, the series had a proud history of blockbuster sales and glowing reviews. Expectations ran high for this new release titled The World of Warcraft. When Blizzard announced that The World of Warcraft would be an online multiplayer game, a startling shift from the company's usual strategy-based gameplay, speculations and curiosities raged. Instead of commanding vast armies in battle, the player would now control just one character, a customizable online version of themselves commonly referred to as an avatar. Set in the same fantasy world as the previous Warcraft titles, players could now explore the vast and rich world of Azeroth in a way that had never before been possible. The earlier interest in the game was raised to a fever pitch by this news, which only intensified when Blizzard announced that they would be holding a beta test of the game in March. The so-called beta test would be a limited release of the game that would allow a lucky few to play the game before its official release, which was designed to find any flaws in the gameplay and to test the online servers which would be running the World of Warcraft. The early build of the game was a huge success and received glowing reviews both from gamers and critics alike. The anticipation for World of Warcraft, which had by now been granted its famous acronym, WoW, continued to grow stronger as the year 2004 went on. When the World of Warcraft finally launched in North America on Tuesday, November 23rd, 2004, it was a smash hit. Blizzard estimated that it sold over 240,000 copies the first day, immediately earning it the distinction of the fastest growing online game in history. WoW would not only sustain this success, it would expand upon it. In just a few months, the game exploded into a global obsession, when in February 2005 it was launched in Europe to much acclaim. After it had proved itself in Europe, WoW was released in China just a few months later. Other countries soon followed suit. By the end of 2005, WoW had more than 5 million subscribers worldwide. Over 5 million people, paying $15 a month, would quickly make Blizzard Entertainment one of the most profitable companies in computer gaming history. But what drove this juggernaut? Why were so many millions willing to pay almost $200 a year just to play a game? These are the questions which are best answered by those which have had the most personal experience with the World of Warcraft. The players.
My name is Jimmy Dyke and I've been playing WoW for about 4 or 5 months now. When I first got into WoW, a lot of my friends were playing it. I had some really good friends who would talk about it all the time. And then I tried it at their house, I liked it, and so I decided to buy it.
I first started playing with a friend, played for about 20 minutes on his character and decided that it was pretty fun and thought I might like to try it.
Everyone I knew was playing it. It was almost like peer pressure, just you had to play it.
Well, as you said, it's a massive online role-playing game. Basically, you run around, you kill monsters, you do quests, you get experience, you level your character up, you get better gear.
I log on, I probably get something to eat, go to the bathroom. I'll get on a flight path during that time so I'm not losing any WoW time, you know. And so by the time I land, I'll be ready to play. I'll go probably check the AH, you know, see if there's any good weapons with some good stats, you know, good agility, you know, good DPS, good stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of lingo in WoW, a lot of, internet speak, you know. It's actually kind of a lot like a chat room. They've got a lot of, OMGs, LOLs, that's a lot. But then there's a lot of abbreviations for the dungeons, there's RFC, WC, and you just pick that up along the way.
The game itself is very repetitive. I mean, you go out and you kill things and you level up. If it was a single-player game, it would be one of the most boring games I've ever played. But because there's other players to interact with, it makes it interesting.
It's very much different than a normal video game in the sense that there's a lot more, there's a lot more people, and there's people that are on. You're playing with real people, and it's almost like a whole new world. Warcraft, you're in there and just a bunch of people like a whole world itself, whole another country with language and all their own cities and everything. People will want their friends to play. It's more fun when your friends are on.
The developers did a really good job of making you feel rewarded whenever you do something good, and really there being a separation of ranks between like the best and the people below them.
You play for a little while, you level up, this is pretty cool. Keep playing, keep leveling up, and it just keeps consuming more and more of your time, and when you're not playing, you're thinking about playing.
Well, that does take a little bit of my time, I'd say. But you know, it's not bad. Well, spring break I probably played about 8 hours a day. You know, just, you know, but on a normal day, if I'm not working and I don't really have anything to do, I'll play probably 4 hours.
Anywhere between 4 and 12 hours a day.
I'll break for eating. Sometimes I don't. It just depends. Depends on how I'm going.
On weekends, I would go until about 3 or 4 in the morning. I usually try to get to sleep at a decent time on the school nights. Yeah.
The guild I was in, Uber, raided 6 hours straight every Sunday morning from 12 to 6. Took an hour break for dinner. Came back and raided from 7 to 1 in the morning every Sunday.
It hasn't really affected my social life. I don't. If someone invites me to do something, I don't say, sorry, I can't play WoW. It's usually more the fact that if no one has invited me, I will play WoW, or if I don't have anything to do. But I know lots of people that will call into work, or will not go to school. I'll ask them to hang out, and they'll say they've got a raid to do, or you know they can't. They've got stuff going on. So
I would go out with friends still, but I would also like to stay in if I was busy doing something on WoW and somebody was like, hey, let's go to dinner. I'm like, no, I'm busy, I'll go later.
Oh, for sure. When I did play WoW, there was a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of failing grades.
Well, it affected my homework. I never wanted to do it, and when I did do it, it was a lackluster attempt at best.
I do know people whose grades have dropped because of WoW, and they've caught it, and then they stopped and then get their grades back up, but it does happen. The only thing I regret so far is not playing earlier. It's been a blast, and I love it.
Friends, good memories.
So I wouldn't regret.
In just a few short years, the world of Warcraft had captured the imaginations of millions, creating a fanbase unlike any before. Its unique blend of simple gameplay and social interaction drew gamers both young and old from across the world. By the year 2007, it had over 8 million subscribers. This ever-growing number of players created a vast network, a kind of shared culture, which ignored all worldly boundaries. When Blizzard Entertainment announced that it would release a complete expansion for the World of Warcraft in January, adding hundreds of new features and an entirely new land to explore, the WoW community was thrown into an absolute mania. Titled The Burning Crusade, the expansion would allow players to travel through the legendary Dark Portal and defend the world of Azeroth from the demon hordes now gathering in the blighted world of Outland. 2 new playable races would aid in this fight: the long-suffering but noble Draenei and the powerful, magic-addicted Blood Elves. Filled with anticipation, thousands of fans began lining up outside retailers days, even weeks before the game was scheduled to come out. From Universal City, California, to London, England, to Paris, France, sidewalks were packed with joyful gamers. When doors finally opened at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 16, 2007, The Burning Crusade shattered the one-day sale record to become the fastest-selling PC game in North American history. Within 24 hours, it had sold nearly 2.4 million copies worldwide. To this day, the world of Warcraft continues to grow. Its population is now nearing 9 million subscribers and shows no signs of slowing down. It is clear that, for good or ill, the world of Warcraft is now a permanent part of the gaming community.